Minutes to meet with us today. We really enjoyed being on site out in Georgia last month and learning more about your business and ambitions behind this transformation journey y'all are starting. Before we get on site for demos next month, we thought that it would be a really good time to talk to y'all about a recent announcement that SAP made, and it's one of SAP's larger announcements in the last decade or so. And this is the SAP Business Suite. And the SAP Business Suite is a very large investment that SAP's made in its applications, data, and AI capabilities. And we're very excited about the value that we believe this can deliver for our customers and potentially Daniel Defense if we're selected as your partner in transformation. So before we talk more about the Business Suite and our announcement, I wanted to start by talking about Daniel Defense and our understanding after our meeting last month. So as we started to talk more about your business and ambitions, it became clear that Daniel Defense is not only trying to become a major player in the defense space, but also has ambitions to be the most technologically advanced weapons manufacturer in the world. And as we learned more about how this is going to come to fruition, we learned it will be through two main avenues. The first will be organic investments, and the second will be through inorganic investments and growth through acquisition. Jake, something you mentioned is Daniel Defense likes to think about their addressable market as, quote, is a gun, on a gun, or for a gun. But right now, Daniel Defense is primarily is a gun. And as you start to think about this next level of exponential growth that you're going to be seeing, but also expansion into different adjacent product categories and the complexity that comes along with that, it's going to be very important to establish a platform for growth that's both scalable and flexible. And a large part of this platform will be its ability to optimize the supply chain as complexity increases to ultimately meet customer demands. And the last thing that we spent a lot of time talking about was the customer. And it's very clear that at Daniel Defense, it's all about serving your customers. And we heard that right now, Daniel Defense, compared to its peers, is on the higher end of customer experience, but that's not due to elevated customer experience in the industry. It's actually due to a lack thereof. And Daniel Defense really wants to exceed the competition and make buying a Daniel Defense weapon a top-notch experience. And this will really come to be in two key ways. We talked about supply chain and manufacturing optimization to actually reduce cycle times to get the gun to the customer faster, but also the way that you engage your customers and being able to give your customer updates and really get them involved in the experience of their gun being built. Being able to say, manufacturing has started, your gun's in paint, it's in delivery, and being able to build excitement and make buying a Daniel Defense weapon an experience. So Justin, something you mentioned that really resonated with us is who you look up to. And we heard Daniel Defense looks up to Apple for product, Tesla for manufacturing, and logistics like Amazon. And as we started to get involved with discovery with your business, it became clear that there's a lot of opportunity to get to those ambitions. And right now, the current ERP is highly manual, both in reporting and execution. And there's really a lot of disparate offline processing happening in different applications such as Excel and outside the system. And this is really getting in the way of visibility. So if we work back from the customer, we heard that sales are coming in through fax, phone, email, for example. And once the order comes in, sales doesn't really have inventory visibility or trust. And this really goes back to inventory traceability. And we heard that inventory can be trusted as a work order, but once it's in the cage, it's not really trusted. And when parts come in, you don't really know if the parts are good. And we'd love to be able to rate suppliers based on performance and know that the parts are really good before they arrive. So as we start to think about putting everything in the context of the customer, as Daniel Defense does, it really goes all the way back to planning and procurement and being able to execute and optimize across the entire value chain. So Justin, something you mentioned, which we really agree with and talk about a lot, is a paradigm shift from an IT platform to a business platform. And as we talk about the pain points that were on the last slide, yes, they're very different and have different impacts across different parts of the value chain. But today, these functions are actually increasingly connected. So when one part of the business is impacted, for example, procurement, or a delay in manufacturing due to downtime, it ends up impacting sales or it impacts planning. And really, to succeed, businesses are going to need solutions for more than just individual challenges, but they're going to need a way to align to every function so they can unlock and transform the collective power of their business. So when we think about the opportunities and where Daniel Defense is today compared to, let's say, who you look up to, so an Amazon, a Tesla, or an Apple, we actually feel that Daniel Defense is uniquely positioned to be on the leading edge of enterprise management in this new era compared to those peers that you look up to. And the big reason of this is that today, Daniel Defense is relatively unburdened by legacy systems. You all have plans to grow into a multi-billion-dollar defense company, but right now, you don't have the complexity that's going to come with that yet. You all are operating out of one state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that executes the supply chain manufacturing delivery end to end. And we really view that as an opportunity to transform in a way that some of these comparisons that you made cannot. And the new era of enterprise management is really going to start with transactional systems. And that's what everybody thinks about today with SAP. These are your core ERP solutions in other line of business areas. This is your finance, supply chain, procurement, etc. The next piece is going to be transformational insights. And by having connected and optimized applications executing core business processes, you're going to have a centralized semantic layer of data that will be able to unlock insights, analytics, and most importantly, and what we're all talking about today and hearing in the news and hearing from basically anybody and everybody, is AI capabilities. And the way that this is heading is AI agents. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. So through our discovery, we've learned that Daniel Defense is very ambitious in its transformation plan. And as we start to think about the roadmap and think about where you all want to start, and right now it sounds like it's going to be really core ERP and maybe some customer success solutions. What we want to highlight here is that SAP offers one suite of applications for your end-to-end business. So once you establish your foundation and start to drive transformation, if you decide that you want to move into other areas of transformation, let's say asset management, sourcing and procurement, etc., SAP offers a suite of applications that are seamlessly integrated and are industry specific that can enable transformation without Daniel Defense getting in the business of building integrations and stitching together a bunch of best of breed solutions. SAP delivers this all out of the box. Beyond not just having to then figure out how to integrate this complexity yourself, another benefit is that this will create unmatched data. So by using SAP apps, you're going to be able to create a harmonized data model with all of your mission critical data to give you a complete and actionable view of your organization. The other benefit is not just getting visibility into data, it's putting your data to work. And a main benefit of this approach with SAP Business Suite is the ability to foster reliable AI. So the way that AI is really heading is towards agents, and more specifically, systems of agents. So Jake and Justin, if you've all used ChatGPT or any sort of co-pilot solution, the way that that differs from an agent is that an agent is able to take action. So not only will it give you an answer like a ChatGPT, but it will be embedded in your business process and it will understand the context of the business process and have all the semantic data. So it's able to actually execute and optimize your business. Another interesting thing is AI as the new user interface. So when we're on site next month, you're going to see a user interface that SAP has been using for a while called Fury. And this user interface is great when you're in the application, but we're also starting to move towards our agent Joule as the user interface. So intuitive user interface that your employees love, that's great. But the best user interface is the one where you don't need to even go into the application. You're able to query across your business to pull reports, work by exception, and execute business processes. And that's where SAP's heading. So to recap, the SAP Business Suite seamlessly connects every function of your organization and will act as a foundation of Daniel Defense. And if you look at the diagram to the left, it all starts with the business technology platform and the business data cloud. So as we talked before, companies will need a unified data fabric across their value chain to be able to optimize insights and deploy AI at scale. And this is what SAP offers with Business Data Cloud. Next on the sundial is our applications. And this starts with SAP Cloud ERP, but we also cover line of business specific solutions for finance, spend, supply chain, human capital management, and customer experience. In the next ring is our AI capabilities. And in the light purple are our line of business specific solutions. So you will have agents specific for finance, spend, supply chain, HR, and CX. And as you look at other vendors and other best of breed solutions, they will have agents as well who will be able to execute in the context of that line of business in application. Where we think SAP sets itself apart is our Joule agents. So not only will we be able to provide agents in each application, Joule agents will actually orchestrate end-to-end business processes. And we think this is really important because business processes don't exist in silos, so nor should your agents. So if we take an example, let's say taking a sales order might come in through customer experience and can be handled by a customer experience agent. The CX agent will then want to see if the inventory is in stock. So it'll reach out and Joule orchestrate to the supply chain agent. The supply chain agent will be able to look at the inventory, and if the inventory isn't available, or let's say it's a make to order situation, the supply chain agent will then check capacity and may have to run MRP to understand the constraints around that manufacturer so it can make a accurate available to promise date. So it might need to then reach out to a spend agent to understand when a certain part that's going to be needed for that process will be available. So as we start to think about enabling business processes with scale, it's clear that a bunch of siloed agents from best of breed providers isn't going to enable the end-to-end business processes that are needed to truly transform a business. So as we start to think about the value that this could mean for a business like Daniel Defense, we've taken an outside-in approach to look at what we believe Daniel Defense could see in recurring and one-time benefits. And the key areas that we looked at are similar to the ones that we talked about on the What We Heard slide finance, sourcing, supply chain, manufacturing, sales, marketing, human resources, and then we separately called out AI. And the big benefit here and the way to think about transforming with SAP Business Suite is a big boost in productivity, but also optimization through better decision making. So if we take finance, for example, finance employees can spend less time doing consolidations, pulling reports, and doing other manual work, and they can spend more time driving deeper insights and optimizing financial decisions. And this really can happen across your entire business. So we've estimated that Daniel Defense could see $10 million in recurring benefits, and this will be mostly through productivity and efficiency gains across your business, but also $20 million in one-time benefits. And this will mostly come from better decision making, specifically around working capital. So being able to accelerate receivables, being able to better negotiate payables, not only for better payment terms to improve days payable outstanding, but also being able to better negotiate to improve savings on direct and indirect spend. And the last area is inventory optimization. This is both for unfinished goods and materials, but also finished goods. We think that there's a big opportunity when you support your business from end to end to drive holistic optimization that can result in significant inventory savings. So holding less inventory while improving service levels and exceeding customer demands. So we know we're in the middle of an RFP and we're very happy to follow the RFP process, but we just wanted to put this in front of you because, as you know, a company like Daniel Defense does a transformation once every 20 years. Well, SAP does engagements all the time, and we work with customers all the time on roadmaps and transformations, and we've come up with 9 key questions that are essential to successful transformations. And Jake, I know you and I spoke briefly, and you had mentioned that a deep dive business case won't be needed because the board has already approved this project and it's something that Daniel Defense knows they need to do. However, I would always still recommend that we engage on a business case, even if it's not for capital approval, because it's very important when you think about roadmaps and which capabilities and which innovation use cases and how you want to transform your business. It's really important to put this all in the context of value, because ultimately the reason you're doing your transformation project is, yes, it's great to have a modern system, but it's really to create value for your business. So we would love to engage and start to build out this benefits case and highlight some of the AI and innovation use cases as we go through this process. So with that said, I think I'm about at time, a few minutes over. So again, thanks for bearing with me and staying 3 extra minutes. And I look forward to seeing you all on site in Georgia next month. And I think we'll wrap it up from here. But yeah, thanks again. Appreciate it.